Whether you've recently learned you have interstitial cystitis or you've been dealing with the symptoms for a long time, figuring out how to navigate them can feel overwhelming. So here are some things I recommend my patients avoid when dealing with painful bladder, urgency, and frequent trips to the bathroom. I'm Holly McDonald. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist, and I help people with interstitial cystitis identify their triggers, manage their symptoms, and live happy, pain-free lives. In working with patients with IC, I've seen some common pitfalls that I wanted to make you aware of. Avoid dehydration. When you're going to the bathroom multiple times a day, it might seem like a good idea to limit your fluid intake so that you don't go as often. But often this has the opposite effect. See, when you decrease fluids, you allow your body to get dehydrated, and that allows the urine to become more concentrated. More concentrated urine is more likely to irritate the bladder lining, and that makes you feel like you have to go more often. Avoid food irritants. Certain foods and drinks can cause irritation and inflammation of the bladder lining and cause pain and spasms. You may have, in your own research, discovered somebody who suggests that you use an IC diet to avoid food triggers. But in my experience of working with lots of people with interstitial cystitis, there is no one IC diet. It's different for everyone. But you can figure out what the triggers are for you. I have a free resource about foods that may irritate your bladder that you can use to help determine your bladder irritants so that you can avoid them. I'll put a link to it in the description. And avoid Kegels. I know, Kegels are the #1 recommendation for anything bladder related. And with most of my IC patients, the pelvic floor is definitely involved, but not because it's too weak. Instead, it's usually because they're too tight, and that's different. And Kegels would not be recommended. They can actually make things worse. And avoid people that don't understand or are unsympathetic to what you're going through. Now, I know that's not always possible. Coworkers, family members, partners, close friends, even some medical practitioners can sometimes say things that are really unsympathetic because you don't look sick from the outside. But whenever possible, minimize your exposure to people like that. Try to spend your time with people that are compassionate and patient while you're building back your health. And avoid telling yourself that there is nothing you can do, that you just have to live with it. Your body responds to what you tell it. And this does not have to be your life forever. There's more to IC than just inflammation of the bladder, and there are lots of things you can do to help manage your symptoms. IC can feel isolating and overwhelming, but you're not out of options. And the more you can understand about what's driving your symptoms, the more you can do to influence them. If you want more information about pelvic health, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.